Merlin, Narcissa loved Muggle lingerie. One glance and Lucius had capitulated completely on the idea of her continuing to spend time in the Muggle world. Presently, it was responsible for the not-so-minor miracle of getting her husband to agree to having the Grangers over for dinner, while the children were home for the Easter holidays.
Hermione, dear, are you still enjoying Transfiguration? Even Draco has remarked to me that you seem to have a particular talent for it.
Oh, I really am. It's just such a fascinating subject to me. Professor McGonagall is supposed to be such a tough teacher. But I just feel honoured to be taught by a master of her craft like that. I mean, she's an animagus. I'd love to be able to do that. Draco's really good at potions, though.
I've been learning since I was 5.
We all have different talents, though I'll tell you a secret. Hermione, it's always good to have a friend who's a dab hand at potions. An apothecary is no substitute for a fresh brew. But perhaps again, you could show us some of what you've been learning. I know you can't use your magic at home.
Of course!
I'm sorry. It's not that we don't find that impressive. It's just that we have some reservations about the practicality of this kind of magic.
It's instructive. You need to learn these simple skills first. To be able to conjure items, to transfigure bigger, more complicated objects out of rubbish.
Like arithmetic to do calculus later?
I've been working on something else.
Wicked, you've got to show me how to do that.
No! How did you figure out how to conjure them wandlessly and wordlessly and to keep them in control like that?
I've been practicing at night in bed.
Hermione, you could have burned to death.
What you have done is very impressive. But I want you to promise me you won't experiment like that again without supervision.
I promise.
Draco, now please take Hermione and give her a tour of the house. The adults have things that need discussing before dinner.
I think from your reaction that we know there's a problem here.
Truly not a problem, but a complication, I suppose you could say.
Your daughter has exhibited an ability which most fully trained witches and wizards, at the height of their power, are unable to exert. Wandless magic as an art is nearly lost.
I understand that your schedules do not allow you to be home with Hermione during the day, while she's home on holidays. If I were in your position, I'd allow her to come here during those hours where there will always be a magical adult.
And why should we trust your word on that? Now see here.
If for no other reason than that Hermione is far too important to my Draco to allow any harm to come to her. What I saw happening between our son and your daughter the first time I saw them together nearly blew me away. She grounds him, as he does her, and yet they enliven and inspire each other too.
You're telling us they're what, soulmates?
I don't know. My instincts say yes, but the idea of soulmates is an old one. But it's mythical, and I don't know of any way to determine that, if it's even true.
You're still asking us to take your word for it.
Ask Hermione about Draco. See how she reacts.
She talks about Draco the most far more than anybody else, and I don't think she even has any idea she's doing it. It's like he's just on her mind a lot.
Nothing needs to be decided today. The two of you talk. But please consider allowing her to spend some time here over the summer.